Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at Berachain today and what is happening with it. So the ticker is Bera, as you can see here, and this token launched back in Feb of 2025, and ever since its launch it is in the downtrend. As you can see here, it had a pretty good run, so it went from $5 to as high as, I believe it was something like $8, and this was a massive run. As you can see here, it actually tried multiple times to actually go above this $8 level, but there was just a lot of sell pressure and the token did not actually break that. So as you can see, I tried back in Feb for the two times. After that, on the third try in March, the token actually had a massive sellout and the token price actually went down. So if we just look here, this is how it actually happened. So at launch on Binance, at least it actually ended up hitting $15. After that it went as low as 4.5 and it tried to actually break this level, and which actually became the biggest resistance for this coin, which it could not break out from. As you can see here, this was the massive resistance that it actually struggled to break, and there were a lot of sellers waiting to sell the coin. So we'll talk about it in just a second. So let's see what is happening with the token itself. Now, if you are not aware about the Bera itself, it uses two token system model. The first one is Bera, the next one is BGT. The Bera itself is actually used for the native gas fees and staking token for the Berachain itself, and it is powered by the proof of liquidity. As you can see, while BGT is used for governance and economic incentives. So BGT is given in rewards as well as it is used for the governance. So users can actually earn BGT from the staking rewards and different wards, and once they receive that, they can actually convert back to the Bera, and that BGT is banned, but users cannot actually convert Bera to the BGT. So this is a one-way process, and there is no max supply like Ethereum, like Solana, and there is no max supply for the Bera coin itself. The initial supply was around 500 million. After that, if you look here, we in just 5 months the supply has got around 2.7 million Bera has actually increased, as you can see here. Now there is a 10% inflation. It can be changed depending on the governance, so this is a massive one. After that, if you look at the initial distribution, the investors get around 34%, which is a lot. Core contributors on 16.8, R&D 20, community 48. So this the community, there was an initial airdrop of around 15.8, and after that they have community initiatives. So there are Bera seed, there are Berachain seed investors, there is a Series A and Series B investors, and if you look here, all of the token are locked for 1 year. So right after 1 year, so if we go back here, it actually launched back in Feb, so most probably in Feb of 2026 the token will most likely go down. That is going to happen either way, because the investors will get their token, and I think the token price will go even more down. And even if you look here, there is a lot of sell pressure on the token even without investor getting their token. Now there is a high chance that these tokens could also be staked. I am not sure. So if these investors token are staked, they are most probably already selling the profit, already taking the profit through redemption of BGT. So that is possible. Now after that, we have this is how actually looks like. So this is going to be a pretty big problem. So especially if you are trying to hold Bera for a long term, you have to know that. Now looking at the Bera itself, it is a DeFi specific chain, so all of their focus is on the DeFi. And if you look here, when there was a lot of hype for the airdrop, the Bera was doing pretty good. Right after March, and that is when the price of the token actually crashed right here, and the TVL actually went from 3.9 billion to now it's around 692, which is not that big for a DeFi chain, and it's still it is in the downtrend. So as of now, as far as I can understand, that the price of the token and the price of and the total value locked are both related. So if the TVL goes up, the token price will increase. If not, the TVL will go, or if the TVL goes down, I think the price of the token will go down as well. Now, looking at the ecosystem, they have a massive ecosystem, so that's pretty good. So I think as long as their ecosystem grows, the token should be pretty good in the long term. But again, the fees paid are not that much, as you can see, only around 30k, 20k. So that seems like that there is not that much volume, so that is a bit concerning. Anyways, coming to the coin itself, they had two massive updates recently. So the first one was Berachain announcement. They have these different, as you can see, different announcements here, and they also had a lot of launches, ecosystem launches as well. So that was pretty good, and there were some news from the ecosystem as well, and other things that they just liked. Now the biggest thing that they had was this Spectra is live on the main chain. Smart contracts on demand value exists, and these different things. This was a pretty big update for the chain itself, and it actually occurred on June 4th, as you can see. So this is when it actually occurred. This is when it happened. Due to its hype, the token was doing pretty awesome. It went from 2.1 to as high as 2.5, but after that it went again. It is in the downtrend ever since. So I think as of now, the token actually needs to break this downtrend if it wants to go higher. So let's hope that it breaks this downtrend, but I don't think that as of now there is that much demand for the coin itself. Even if you look at the market cap is just going down. There doesn't seem to be that much demand, but as of now it's just making lower lows. As you can see, it actually ended up hitting new low. Now it actually did not even break this high. So again, I think if there is no demand and if there is no reversal, the token will continue to go down. But if there is any reversal, so let's just assume that the price actually I will just try to draw it from this downtrend. So let's just say that this price somehow breaks from this downtrend and ends up reversing itself. So it needs to actually break this high, which is going to be around 2.14, and potentially it actually also needs to break this high around 2.5 as well. If it does that, we can hope for a further we can actually hope for a more positive price, but doesn't seems like that seems to be the case as of now, because there is not that much demand for the token itself. But again, if they announce some kind of news or some kind of incentives for the holders, it can actually pump, but I don't think that it will continue to do so in the future, at least after 1 year. So after 1 year, I think the coin will have a lot more problems because of this supply increase, and investors will most likely take profit. So if you're planning to hold this coin for a long term, you should know that. But I think it can be a pretty good coin for at least 1 year to actually dollar cost averaging. So if you can actually get a pretty good increase like around 1.5 or $1, you can actually sell it as it goes higher. Anyways, this was it. I hope you like the video. I will be back with more. Thanks for watching.